Hello everybody, today I'm doing this video talking about what kind of Warhammer stuff I have in my collection. Now, most people who know my channel, my main channel anyways, they know that my collection is eclectic and I have random stuff. So the vast majority of anything Warhammer related that I own is kind of like Warhammer adjacent, such as this lovely Hero Quest miniature. And then of course, other little Warhammer things, such as my Mr. Potato Head Stomper, which of course is based on the famous Orc Stomper that was made from Mr. Potato Head thing. I ended up doing the checkerboard paint stuff for the first time, and yeah, this was just a fun little project where I put together all sorts of little bits and pieces. And yeah, so most of the stuff that I have for Warhammer is kind of like that. Oh, and there's also the silent auction thing, where I won this lovely set of zombies. I believe these are somewhat old school sculpts that have been sort of reworked as part of the newer Age of Sigmar line. But yeah, I really like these sculpts, so I'm saving these to do something special with later down the road. So yeah, other official Warhammer stuff is basically stuff that I found in miniature lots back in the day. If anybody knows if this is Warhammer related, this one right here, because I don't know. It kind of seems like this would be Warhammer type, but I don't. Without the Slotta base, I don't know. This might be Warhammer? No, this is Real Partha. So yeah, I think this is actually. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. The only ones that I know that are, in fact, Warhammer. I'm just trying to read these bases and I don't even know. This is a zombie that looks like they're holding something resembling a bolter. This might be Warhammer, but I don't know. That looks like a Star Trek miniature, so I don't. This is obviously the odd fantasy stuff. This obviously looks to be pre-Slotta Warhammer. I'm assuming. I might be wrong. But this really looks like some sort of Eldar thing. Though it might not be. It looks like it might be Eldar, but it's yeah, again. And of course, the only one from this bag that I know 100% is Warhammer is this plastic Space Marine guy here. Look at that. Just the classic. When I think of a Space Marine miniature, I kind of think of something like this. So yeah. And of course, another thing is the Inquisition pack. And I know they're witch hunters with Warhammer Fantasy. And I believe these are Inquisitor style stuff. But yeah, I think this is an Inquisition. Oh wow, we got some breakage here. Aw, see, that's too bad. Yeah, this is busted. Busted off, but that should be a relatively easy fix. So, the little servitor guy. And these are primed in black. And they're metal. So I'd have to actually strip these and everything. But here is the Inquisitor guy with the classic witch hunter style hat. That actually might have been broken before, because again, this was just a crappy lot that I got. And yeah. See, that's pretty cool. It's got a flamer unit there. So yeah. This was probably already pre-broken, so I shouldn't feel bad about that. But yeah, so that is all the miniatures, I think. There's a bunch of ones that I know are like old metal ones that I'm going to sell on eBay. So those are all packaged up and ready to go. But that's pretty much it. See, I've always had like the thing of like I don't want to buy sci-fi miniatures as well as fantasy miniatures as a way just to keep my collection under wraps. So that is all. Oh, except for this one random thing. This was sitting on the shelves for like, God, it must have been for years. This is a Pestigore Warhammer Fantasy music thing. And this is still sealed. So obviously, this is worth a lot more than I paid for it. And they were actually a little bit miffed. It had literally been sitting on their shelves for so long that they didn't change the price back once they started to get rare. Okay, so I have like a Warhammer skeleton horse here. These are other projects that I put this guy on there. And I actually don't know what miniature this is from. I know he didn't have a horse, and the skeleton horse didn't have a rider. The skeleton horse also doesn't have a tail. So, no tailbone for the horse. I thought this just looked really cool. Cool, sort of like the Chaos Warrior guy. Yeah, so I thought that was a cool little hustle thing. And then this guy was just another one that I got for like $1. This is obviously some sort of corn demon. I'm not sure. It's not a blood... It might be a blood drinker? Blood thirster? I don't know. The actual names of corn stuff, I don't know. But yeah. Oh, and of course, the various Skaven. So here's something interesting. This is actually a mishmash. This is a duplicated Warhammer miniature. This is actually one of the first miniatures I was actually able to do a proper 2-part mold and copy. So this is a Warhammer Skaven miniature. You can still see there's some real bubbles there. Because I did this... I mean, this is one of the first miniatures I ever made a copy of. But the face is like nearly perfect. So that was actually really cool. So yeah. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I don't know if this would be... This is definitely not a bootleg. This is just a straight up duplicate and then put on a custom base. But yeah. I just saw a video about duplicate stuff and I realized like, oh yeah, I did that. One of my first miniatures I ever copied was a Warhammer miniature, so... So this is an absolute mess, but I'm not going to clean it up because I'm in the middle of selling a bunch of stuff on eBay. But I do have some 40K. I've got the main 40K book from like an old version of the rules there. And then mostly I have stuff from the Warhammer 40K roleplay. It seemed pretty interesting. I have the Rogue Trader book. I've got the Death Watch book. I have not actually gone into super deep detail with the Warhammer 40K stuff. Because obviously this is Games Workshop stuff. This is a fantasy flight game. So I don't know anything about this. I don't even know if like this uses like special dice or anything. It might. I believe I actually got one of the Humble Bundle sales where I got the thing, but yeah. I mean, it's just the artwork in these books is just amazing. So I do like to flip through it every once in a while. I am an opportunist when it comes to this stuff, so I'll never buy anything for full price. But I certainly will buy stuff when it's like very cheap. If you look at some of these things about like Rifts and all this other stuff, all that stuff I found in the thrift store for a cheap price. So that's why I got it. I am working my way through the Horus Heresy books. I am to the Galaxy in Flames, which is where I think things start to really kick off. But I really like... I've read so many of these just massive collections of Warhammer books. Gav Thorpe is pretty good. Take a Shot. And, yeah. I really enjoy these books. A lot of them just kind of get the setting. So while you have really good books, it's good that like so many authors like kind of understand what this whole setting is going for. So a lot of people that think that the Warhammer universe is aspirational, I don't know if they've ever read any of the books or not. And finally, the real excellent part of my Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay thing is the Fantasy Roleplay in the heart of my Warhammer collection, the Fantasy Roleplay 2nd Edition books. This is literally part of my collection. I have a bunch of the 4th edition books, I sold all my 3rd edition stuff because, again, Fantasy Flight, Special Dice. I have a deep place in my heart. Nobody in the comments mentions Zweihander. Zweihander is literally just... It's literally just Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 2nd edition with house rules. That's literally all it is. Yeah. Old Word Bestiary. Realms of Sorcery. Plundered Vaults. The Career Compendium. I have all of these books, save one. I do not have the Vampire book in print. Shades of the Empire. Renegade Crowns. Plundered Vaults. Yes. Children of the Horned Rat. Oh, yes. Realms of the Ice Queen. That was one of the last ones I got. That is, yeah. What is this? This is Knights of the Grail. Yeah, that's the Brentonian guide. So that's a little bit beat up, but you know what? That's fine. A lot of these are not like Five Peaks stuff. Terror and Telvin. Yeah, a lot of these are so good. But yeah, absolutely just a lovely, lovely game. We have these pieces of paper in here. Yes. Yes, the Outside the Hamlet of Devonshire. Yes, yes. We have all the cool stuff. The artwork. Look at this. Master Wizard. Just the artwork is so good. I really would love to see what happens. I guess they're gonna try to bring back the old world, and I haven't been keeping up with that at all. The only thing I kind of kept up with is the Warhammer Fantasy roleplay stuff. But even that, it's just like, yeah, I kind of kept up with it, but at the same time, I didn't really like. I grabbed like a bunch of the stuff that was, on sale. Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely love this edition. 100% favorite role-playing game, despite the fact I haven't played it in like years.